And the free choice just tempers whether you believe in the bridge, whether you'll use the bridge, or how quickly you'll understand the bridge. But the bridge is there. It's there to be crossed, just like for all of those races on the other planets before you. Biology, a little different. Humanoid, yes. But dear ones, the innate was the same because it's connected to spirit. God is God. And they had the same God that you have. That's why their graduate planet was so beautiful, because it exemplified that love that you feel right now. The seed that was put into you by the Pleiadians to give you 23 three-dimensional pairs of chromosomes and one multi-dimensional pair, number 24, is the Pleiadian. And that is the same God that created this planet. Is in them, is in you. And the one that helped create this beautiful ground and the village that you're in. I've seen this before. And all I'm telling you is this is the beginning for old souls of a new time. Question, is it too new for you? Will you cross the bridge? Will you wait till you come back when it's easier? Or will you take the gauntlet that I've thrown down to you and said, what is age? Do you have any idea how your body is designed? If you had an idea, it's not designed to age. Are you aware of that? It rejuvenates itself. That's not a body designed to age. And the only thing that ages you is that DNA, which is only working at about 33 to 34%, that makes the replication of your cells less than it should be, where the telomeres start to shorten instead of staying the same length. That is changeable with the bridge. You cross the bridge, you start talking to innate, you give it instructions, stop aging. And you can watch it in the mirror. You can watch your friends who don't have this information that you wish did and won't have it. They will age much faster than you. I throw down the gauntlet and say, do it and see if I'm right. Can you slow down the body clock? Yes. Hundreds of years. Your body is designed to last hundreds of years. That's the plan. When you start aging less as a civilization, you'll have all kinds of medical journals. Be front page. What's happening to humanity? Why is it that you're living so much longer with so fewer drugs? And that magazine cover is coming. It takes a while. Your body is so ready for you, for a consciousness that is grown up. It's time for the grown up to come out of there and talk to the bridge and say, I know you. Let's get going. I sit in a magnificent place designed for channelers, designed for listeners, in a chapel that was built for prayer, for an age that the creators actually saw coming. And so it is.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching this. I wanted to tell you this is a little time sensitive.
So I would like to invite you Close your eyes. Release all the tension from your body. Relax your head. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms and your hands. Relax your chest. Relax your back. Relax your abdomen. Relax your thighs, your knees, your calves. Relax your feet. And as you concentrate on the energy within your feet, allow yourself to feel, sense, or experience the connection between yourself and our planet, our Mother Earth, our Gaia. There is an energy field that connects you to this partner. And allow your golden heart to radiate love, gratitude, appreciation for our planet, our beautiful planet that provides us with every single resource we have to enjoy a beautiful life on this planet. Thank you, Gaia, for being here. Thank you, Gaia, for loving us. And as we express our gratitude and appreciation for the planet, allow yourself to receive the pulsating wave that is coming up through the planet into your being as the planet thanks you, acknowledges you. Look at all you have achieved. Look at this moment that is happening now and all that has happened to bring humanity to this point where we are shifting our consciousness. The planet has such a deep love for you. You, against all odds, have made it to this point. And allow yourself to go deeper into the earth. Because inside the earth, there are many energy grids. And one of these grids within the earth we call the ancestor grid. All the ancestors that walked this earth before us, their wisdom and knowledge is there, available to us on this ancestor grid. And so let us give honor and thanks to all the ancestors that have walked this earth before us. And let us, with gratitude and appreciation, receive and accept the wisdom and knowledge that they wish in this moment to share with us. Thank you, ancestors, for being here. Thank you, ancestors, for loving us. And take a deep breath. And exhale slowly. And allow yourself to simply relax into the arms of the Kryon entourage that is here in support and love of you.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. There would be those who say, well, this is no place for a new age channel.
What are you doing in something so profound and so sacred, which would be the celebration of the earth from the indigenous? And I will say, dear ones, alter your perspective for just a moment and understand something. Channeling is a word you have decided to use for a process that is ancient. The ancients who walked this planet did this. They did it in their own ways, and there were many names for what you see here. Being in touch with the other side, a dimensionality that is not yours, is not new. Most of the ancients did this through their chiefs, through their shamans, and they did it in a way that they said, we are now in touch with our ancestors. So how is this different from the other side of this veil of your own dimensionality? I am here to give you profound information about you. And you would say, well, where does it come from? It comes from the grids of this planet. It comes from the sentience, the intelligence of your partner. It comes from the ancestors who would love to stand up right now and shout to you, good job, you're on the way. It's what we predicted would happen. There is no greater wisdom on this planet than that from those who have lived, died, come back, done it again, in the form of the wisest indigenous who ever lived. These are the ones who sensed things way before there was an electronic system to do it for you. These are the ones who took a look at the stars and intuited what was happening, did the mathematics, perhaps, long before telescopes. These are the ones who carried the wisdom, who predicted today. This is a message from them. That's what the channeling is. It's not new. And here's what they say. The predicted winds of change for the human race as it is today are here. The winds blow from the past to the future in very interesting ways. And the stars foretell it, and the alignments help it. But that wind cannot be stopped. And that wind is an awakening. It's an awakening to greater ideas and perceptions. It's an awakening to an intelligence that should have been there, but was suppressed, perhaps, but cannot be stopped. And it's all around you, oh modern ones. It's around you. Have you noticed? It's not just for the ones who are interested in sacred things. It's for everyone. And it's happening all around this planet. There are so many layers starting to awakening. But it cannot be stopped. And what I mean by that, like a snowball that rolls down the hill, it collects wisdom as it goes, and more awaken, and more see a truth that has always been there. Let me ask you this. As you look at your own planet, at your own modern societies, and you see the ignorance that has happened in the pollution of the planet, the results of it, and you see this. Now you have more humans on the planet than ever, billions. Why then, in that situation, suddenly would you awaken to what you've done? It's counterintuitive. In fact, many in the past predicted you wouldn't even be here today because of the amount of pollution. And now that you have more people, it's counterintuitive for an awakening to say, stop doing it. And yet that is what has happened. So just marginally, there is an awakening with industry, with others, with all the things modern that say, be careful of the planet. It's counterintuitive that any modern society would have that kind of an awakening right now, with more people, with more resources needed. And yet that's what's happened. There are certain societies, including the one my partner lives in, who is awakening to something that is absolute core truth that the Europeans have always known. Eat better. Get rid of the preservatives. Go find organic things from the garden. How long did that take? Perhaps 200 years or more? What I'm saying is this: there is a wisdom that is starting to change on this planet at the core level. Perhaps you've not realized that these things, again, counterintuitive. Why should all human beings suddenly start an awareness that they haven't had before? What is it? What it is the cycle. You're in a new cycle, dear ones, and the ancestors have told you it was coming. As I speak to you, the earth is experiencing a pandemic. If I told you it was right on schedule, would it be too controversial for you? You've been forced to take a look at yourselves, to stop the planet, perhaps for almost a year. When you stop the planet for a year and you stop doing the things that were normal to you, there's a lot of introspection that goes on. There's also a lot of fear. There's a lot of change, and some of it, dear ones, is benevolent. Systems that should have been stopped a long time ago will stay stopped. Systems that were just beginning, that couldn't get anywhere because of the old systems, are now free to proceed. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, there's more. Suddenly, in certain societies, there's an awakening of injustices that have been here since the society began. They're now being examined. Regular human beings, not necessarily the ones in spirituality or listening to this program, are making wiser decisions. They want a stop to certain kinds of things. All of you know about the corruptions that are in government and always have been. They are intuitively created from the system of government. Things happen the way they happen because of the power structures all over the planet. And yet, that is beginning to change. Some will say, well, I haven't seen it yet. You're right, but you will. That is all there. It's ripe for the wild cards, as I say, to come forward. Those who perhaps you didn't think would come forward, which will make these changes. Dear ones, there is so much going on. Injustices between the genders that have always been there. Suddenly, in certain societies, there's objections. Suddenly, things that have been carried on literally for decades and decades and decades in a normal way are no longer acceptable. Did you notice? There is much coming, dear ones, and you're going to see it, and the predictions that I have given all are about awakening. Awakening of a consciousness that is not just wiser, but higher. A high consciousness is a one that will not tolerate things of the kinds of things that have been going on this planet for a very long time. And it's not just a few. Look for this. And that would be in the masses that will begin to raise up and say, we will not allow this, we will not tolerate this. And they'll be pointing their fingers to the leaders. And they'll say to their governments and their officials and their shamans and their priests and their rabbis, they will say, it's time for this to change. Dear ones, all over this planet, there's one thing happening right now that is ripe for exposure. There are many of these, but the one that is closest, and the ancestors are smiling because it's time to correct this, is the slavery of children. Rampant. It is much more than you think it is. In certain societies, it's easier and it is more rampant. In certain societies, it's not as easy, but it's still there. Sexual slavery, farming young women actually in birth to be slaves. It sounds barbaric, and it is part of your modern society. And it is well funded, dear ones. And it's unconscionable for the times. The shift is here. And I will tell you that the exposure, finally, of this is at hand. That is a high consciousness move, because that's been around for 1,000 years. Truly, things that are happening in the dark are starting to be illuminated. This is what the teaching has always been. The human who sits in the chair was exposed to me in 1989. Questions were always there. Why are you here? Why now? What should this be? And the answer has always been the same. For the procession. For the wind of change that may or may not happen. Your scripture told you you would not make it past the year 2000. Go look. Go take a look. That's your modern scripture. But the indigenous of the planet, they said there was a chance. They gave the whole idea of a shift, of a cycle, a big one that was coming. It did, right on schedule, as predicted from the stars that they saw. And you sit in it. Question, do you accept this? Number 2, what will you do with it? I speak even to the chiefs and the shamans of the indigenous right now. Your ancestors are asking you to be patient with all those who are not of your tribe. To be patient, be circumspect, and allow perhaps for traditions to bend a little. To allow those who are not aware of what you're aware of to be in the fold of knowledge. Release some of the secrets, the beauty of Gaia, some of the traditions that are now needed for those who never had them before. This is what the wise men and women bring to this planet, and it's time to share them. This is the message of the day. It's huge. It's enormous. It's benevolent. It's joyful. You are moving into something that very few expected, unless you've been watching and listening to those who came before. This is the message I have had now for 31 years and will continue to have. And so it is.
Hi everybody, thanks for watching this. I wanted to tell you this is a little time sensitive. Hi everybody, thanks for watching this. I wanted to tell you this is a little time sensitive.
So we are at the 7th day of our tour, arriving at the main nature place excursion of the day, which is the God's Waterfall. Indeed, it's majestic and grand, as we would like God to be. We'll take this moment to anchor ourselves once again as one group, as one soul, on this journey in beautiful, amazing, and Gaia gifting Iceland, that once again inviting us to speak to us Every place has something new to offer to you. So center once again in your own being, through your own field, through your own heart, through your soul, deeper into this space. Feel the energy beneath you and all around you. Feel the elements of nature, the warmth of the beautiful sun that gifted us as well, the snow, the cold breeze, the sounds of the waterfall behind you. The wind, and simply take it all in, appreciating, honoring, melding with the elements of Gaia. At this time, when the world is still gripped in many places in worry, anxiety, and fear, let us invite them also into this circle. In a quantum state, everyone is here with you. And for those who are going to listen to the channel and to these channels, not too far from now, you are also welcome to join us into this circle. There's nothing sometimes more powerful than nature to soothe your soul, to ease your pain, your worry, your anxiety, or anything you have, or even just to be in nature and to appreciate its beauty and what it has to give to you. Many of you are not even allowed to go out of their homes. So you can't fully be out there in nature. But you can take yourself there with your imagination, with your being, and be present. It is all around you. It is loving you. It is relaxing. It is helping you and healing you. It is softening. Let Gaia love you and soothe your heart, and know that all is well. And all is well. And we invite once more Kryon and for the message that it has for us.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. This is the 7th message from the island nation of Iceland. And you stand here, dear ones, with me in the wintertime. But it's a glorious time. You're going to look back on this and remember the time when you stood in the snow, when it was minus 10 Celsius and some of you were shivering. You're going to remember this. But I want you to remember the sun. I want you to remember what you're seeing with your eyes, what you've just seen here. The pristineness, the majesty, the beauty, the energy that pours from this place that says, welcome to you. Welcome to you. In these moments, let the sun be that which would warm you just for the few moments that I wish to speak. My partner wants an unspoken rule to be written right now in the snow. And that unspoken rule would be this: the colder it is, the shorter the channel. But I'm not going to let him do that. They're all short, dear ones. These are short messages that have some profound things we want to say to you. This is the revelation of the sixth letter in the title of the word Iceland. And the letter today is N. Now, almost everyone here has agreed that this would, of course, be nature. For there is an amazing beauty here that is not present in many places on the planet. I want to instead say that the word is going to be a derivative of nature. It's going to be natural. Almost everyone here or listening to my voice has something pristine to say about the word natural. You look for natural things. More and more human beings are asking the questions in all that they eat. Is it natural? But they're coming to an agreement that they don't want things that people have altered or things have been added. They want it to be natural. And so I want to give you just a little history to just think about in these next moments or so about natural. Even when you woke up this morning and when you had that amazing view in the sun, as far as you could see, of virgin snow, nothing had touched it. It was so beautiful. And you would say, this is natural. This is nature at its best. This is what I love. Can you imagine for a moment space when the earth was being formed and how beautiful that would be? Untouched, natural. So that the earth would form, including this island, in the way that it would. Even the tectonic plates crushing one another and the volcanoes going off to provide what you see right now. There's something beautiful of the fact that it's natural. It happened by itself. The forces were immense, but it was natural. I want to take you on this short little journey of what humans thought and did in the absolute first societies. After that, what you call the Garden of Eden, after that time, when humans had what you would call a soul, they had a choice to decide who the Creator was and what was going on the planet. The result today you can see, for there is mythology everywhere. The mountains speak. There's the elves, the hidden people, the trolls in this land, which are all metaphors for natural occurring life on the planet. Natural. What did the indigenous of the planet, the most early ones, what did they choose for the story of the Creator? And the answer is this: everything was natural. Nothing was added to it. And the indigenous of this planet decided that there was energy in the hills and the waters and the waterfalls. And this was the Creator because it was allied to the soul. It was natural. Some of you will say, well, what about the spirituality of today? What goes with that? I'm getting there. One of the most natural things that occurred with the indigenous was that as they lost those they loved, the wise ones, over and over, as generations went by, they remembered them. They had words for them. They heard them in the wind.
But the ancestors of the human beings were the most natural thing they had to call upon. They called upon the wisdom of themselves with nature. I said this before, I'll say it again, that in some lands there is a cosmology that says when you take the dirt of the earth and put it on your lips, you touch every ancestor you've ever had because they're still there. The wisdom of the earth is the wisdom of the ancestors. How natural could it be? And then we get into systems. And people will say, well, that was the end of natural because the systems then were man-made. Let's discuss the very first system of spirituality on this planet that has been recorded. And that was of the Hindu. Listen to their system. There is no prophet. There is no central book. They are one with everything. What a system. They believe they return to the planet and they come back. What a system. That was the first intuitive spiritual system that existed. It's the most natural thing. Everything beyond that, dear one, was added unto. Like food, perhaps, that was added unto. Or food, perhaps, that was frozen and then thawed, and frozen and then thawed, to a place where nothing is natural. And sometimes when you look at the systems of the planet, you wonder, who was in charge of that? What were they thinking? I give this to you now to return to the natural thing that is in front of you. The most pristine thing that you still have, that still loves you. The hills know your name. That's natural. Gaia knows your name. Both you and Gaia have the same creative source, your family together. That's natural. Ponder these things. The channel is over. And so it is. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching this. I wanted to tell you this is a little time sensitive. Hello, I'm Lee Carroll.
I'd like to invite you to close your eyes and take a moment to settle into a slow and steady breathing. Breathing in and out from your heart. And allow each breath to nourish your heart. And as you feel your heart being nourished, send out a ripple of love to your brain and acknowledge the logic and intellect that we use. And allow a ripple to travel from your brain to your heart. Because it is your heart that provides you with wisdom and guidance. And it is always ready to connect with you. And with this connection between the heart, the brain, and the pineal, we create a coherence, a field around us that lets us receive intuition, messages, answers, solutions. And from this space, let us now welcome the loving guidance, wisdom, and messages from Adironda and Kryon.
So it is good day to you, huh? Oh, so very good to see your light, your brightness, your divine presence. We see that you're filling up this room with your light. With that energy, know that everything that is happening is in divine order. We understand right now things are feeling a bit like the vessel Maryland's jacket pattern. Woo, 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 woo. So you're watching it and you're saying, oh, I'm getting sleepy, I'm getting sleepy. But in that capacity, that is the frequency of the world right now. The frequency of the world as is in maintaining that energy of up and down and moving right, left, up, down, right, left, up, down. You don't know which way to turn your face or which way to turn your back. So take a deep breath, dearest beings of light. We must ask you to always remember that divine order is in process. And as you are acknowledging that, we know we've been talking about this for many years, but as you are acknowledging that, you get to see what part you indeed are playing. Because the earth right now is a bit like this bottle of water. Oh, you cannot see it because it is blue water. But when you shake a bottle of water, the water bubbles and moves around and then eventually settles back into its space. So as it settles back into its space, what you are acknowledging, what you are seeing are the bubbles disintegrating and coming back into a place of levelness. Now, it is not like when you shake up a bottle of soda, because that is a man-made device that carbonates all over everything when you pop the lid. But water, as the earth, and the earth is made up of water and rocks and earth, no carbonation necessarily there. But so when it is rearranging itself, it is coming into that place of peace. We asked our vessel Marilyn to draw a card this morning from the affirmations from your soul from Kryon. You don't have that, you need to get it. So with that energy, we asked her to draw this card for you, and she thought, well, this is appropriate. I wonder what this is going to have to do with our message. Take a deep breath, dearest. For when you receive guidance in a random world with lots of possibilities, you get to take a breath in order to receive that message. The divinity within me glows with the internal light of the Creator. I am connected with my higher self, and the peace within me is manifested through my entire being. You understand that, and you understand that energy. And as you understand that energy, should we read it again? The divinity within me glows with the eternal light of the Creator. I am connected with my higher self, and the peace within me is manifested through my entire being. So as that peace is manifested through your entire being, just like the bottle of water, it begins to settle the energy in the field. And if you haven't watched the field, you need to watch it, because that shows you the scientific fact behind that importance of keeping your field in that divine flow. Right now, dearest beings of light, your world may be a bit jangled. It may be a bit fruit basket upset feeling, or like someone has just pulled the tablecloth out and all the things are going up and down and not knowing which way they're going to land. Well, dearest beings of light, this is the earth you're living on. And the promise of God, or source if you prefer, is that divine order is always in process. So no matter what else is happening, even if you have a Fujimoto thing going on in the Gulf Coast and all the hurricanes are meeting there together to talk and communicate their energy, or as you say, the asteroid is coming into right before the election and it may hit the earth right before the election, and how many people are predicting some disastrous thing to happen in the next few months, huh? Even the astrology is predicting that, as Michelle, dearest being of light, will tell you a bit later. Take a deep breath, dearest. You are living your purpose as you are in assistance to this planet's evolution. You are living your beingness. And as you are acknowledging that, you are a part of that divine order that is indeed in process. Take a deep breath on that one. You are a part of something much, much larger. You are a part of a frequency that even though it is shaken up a bit and the bubbles are going all around trying to find their place of uniting, the energy is going to be settling in the next few months. So how would you like it to settle? As a light plurker, play plus work equals plurk, as a light plurker, you can get whatever you ask for. We actually had to remind our vessel Marilyn of that. She does not want me to tell you the story. But that never stopped us. So what we, as she was writing in her journal today, she was writing about all the things she did not care for happening right now in her life, because all this health things and all that thing and all that other thing and all that other energy. And we had to say, stop. Stop it. That is the quote. Stop it. What are you grateful for? Huh? Do you know? What are you grateful for? And we asked her to go back to something that we've told her many years ago, to write down 5 things that she's grateful for before breakfast, which was easy for her since she eats her breakfast around 11, even though she gets up at 5. So we ask you, a part of your purpose in this world is to share your gratitude. So we ask you to return to something that we have told you many times before. Write down 5 things that you are grateful for before your breakfast. And see how those things begin manifesting more so in your world. You see, it is still your purchase order when you say, I am so thankful for this aspect. I am so thankful for this energy. I'm so thankful that the sun is shining, the birds are singing. Yes, she has had a hummingbird. Actually, she's only had one hummingbird all summer long. And now all of a sudden there are 5 hummingbirds. So that is significant. We may tell you later what the meaning of the hummingbird is for her and see if it applies to you. But in that energy, we ask you to look for the signs of positivity in your world. Look for the signs of you, dearest being of light, living your life and your purpose on point to recreate that bliss that you were here to experience, that you are here to experience, and to know, dearest being of light, that the planet is supporting you. The Ascended Masters are supporting you. Kryon, our dear friend, is supporting you. We are support. With all that support, how could you feel unsupported? So, dearest beings of light, we simply ask you to take a deep breath. Get over yourself. Get over all those complaint factors, because we don't think that's really what you want more of. And think that every single time you shake up your bottle of water, as it settles, that is a metaphor for the planet settling. Now we see hundreds of people around the planet shaking their bottle of water and looking at it. Good. Because what that happens is it goes into your soul. It goes into the fact that you are the divine creator. Huh? You are that essence. So no matter whether there's typhoons or hurricanes meeting and having fun in the Gulf of Mexico, or whether there's an asteroid coming to the planet before the election, or no matter what, all is worthy and right with your soul. All is working in that capacity of the next connected step for humanity. So what is your purpose and part to play there? That is what we ask you. We will talk more about that a bit later. But for now, we love you so much. For we see you all around the world shaking your bottles of water and watching it come back into a place of stillness and love. We see you. We know you. And we bid you namaste. Namaste.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. We have always come to you for 31 years, looking at you in ways that you never look at yourself. We've told you repeatedly that everything you have been told about that which is the creative source, about God, about spirit, whatever what you want to call it, everything you've been told is only a fraction of the grandness that truly is there. And some of the things that you've been told make us fall and weep. This channel I'm going to call the true heritage of the human being. I'm not going to talk about your lineage, that's later, but your heritage. And there's so much to say, and you've heard part of it before, but let this one be more controversial than ever. Of course, that's why some of you are tuned in. What if it isn't controversy because of different ideas? What if the controversy is between what you were told and what is being discovered? That always is good for controversy. Millions of human beings are starting to awaken to a new idea. And the new idea is that they are grander than they were told in so many ways. And that has to do specifically with your heritage. Where'd you come from? What happened when you got here? What's going on right now? The stories you're told about all of these things, dear ones, are stories that are not reflective of the grandness, the love, the benevolence, the compassion of your soul, of who you are, of the name that you have in light on the other side of the veil. It's not reflective of the grand party that you will receive upon the death of your corporeal self, where your soul soars into that area where is home, where you belong, and where you came from. Where all the ideas of made in His image start to manifest as truth. Your lineage is one thing. Your heritage is divine. There's a difference. Your lineage is from the stars. Your heritage is divine. There is such a dysfunctional story that you have been told. It creates a picture of the greatest love in the universe doing something that is more... Your heritage is darkness. You've been told you're born into darkness. That you don't even deserve to be here, and somehow you got to claw your way through the mud in order to find some truth. And that truth will be then only from those who have some organizations who wish to give it to you. And that the human being can indeed crawl through that and be worthy then of having the love of God. But up to that point, nothing. You're nothing. You're born into that horribleness, they say. Does that sound right to you? I've said this before. If you are a loving parent, and let's just say you have a big family, and you see these brothers and these sisters, and you love them dearly, and you see all that is here with your family. You know how much you love your sons and your daughters, and those who are there, your children. There's no grander love than the parent for the child. And let's say that one of them does not behave. And you say, well, therefore, because one of them did not behave, all of them will be punished. And if the rest of them go, well, wait a minute, we didn't do that, and say, it doesn't matter, one of you did. Therefore, you're all doomed. How does that sound? Parent. And you'd say, well, that's not the way parenting works, and that we love our children. And you're right. That would be one of the most dysfunctional things you can imagine. And yet you then place it upon the creator of the universe, the creator of you, the creator of your soul, the one who loves you more than anything. That's the story. I would like to give you a grander truth. Your heritage is divine. You are born magnificent on this planet. And you get free choice to do whatever you wish to with the energy. If you want to go into the dirt, you can. If you want to go into the sky, you can. This is the free choice of your soul on this planet, and is the test, if you want to call it that is at hand. Your heritage is grand. Every mother knows this at some level, no matter what you were taught. no matter what your religion. Can you imagine, mother, looking into the eyes of your infant for the first time ever? First time that infant opens its eyes and looks into yours, what do you feel? It's indescribable, isn't it? And so what are your next words? Welcome to earth. I'm sorry I'm going to have to punish you now. That's what you're taught. That, dear ones, is dysfunction. The truth is so much better. You can still experience the love of God in any way that you've been taught that God loves you. But I will tell you, that love is unconditional. Unconditional means you're born magnificent, no matter what anyone else has done in the past. And even that, no matter what you do, it's unconditional. The parables have said it even in the prodigal son. The parables are all metaphors for the way Spirit works. And if you take a look at that one, it doesn't matter what one son does. When they get to that place where they go home, they both get the same party. Did you get that? You don't punish them both. You don't reward them both. You get a party, a celebration of them coming home. That is the metaphor. I've said it before. What is your reality? You think this is real? You live in 4 dimensions. 4. And that's all you see, and that's your reality, and that's what you walk around in. But there are hundreds of dimensions. Many of them, they're very, very much different than this one. Not linear. Even your science has discovered almost 30 of them. What if you suddenly lived in all of them instead of the limited 3 or 4 you're in? What would your reality be then? You could be in several places at the same time, by the way. That's what multidimensional things are and can be. Time changes. All things change. Then what is your reality, dear ones? You think the things that you are walking around in now are real? The things that you've been told are absolute? And even the divine things that you have believed are the way it works? These are all a children's story and experience because you live in only a fraction of the reality of physics, of God. God is the master physicist, creating all these things for you to experience. Your magnificence is that heritage that you have. It's controversial only because in a lower energy, it's all you had to work with, what you were told. You want controversy? Here it comes. What's going on right now, you've expected, and it had a name. You called it the second coming. It is. But it wasn't of a master. It's of the master's attributes. That's the second coming. Always a metaphor. When you pass through that marker of 2012, in comes all of the attributes of the masters of this planet, coming in to change that which is your reality and your substance and your awakening to your grandness. All the love and the compassion of that one that you expected coming back to so many of you is here. Can't you feel it? You're sitting around waiting for something linear? You want the skies to part and the angels to pop in? What if that was all a metaphor for the incredible love of the Creator now coming to this planet in a way it never did before? Not really. And you start awakening into that area where you start to realize the love and the benevolence and the compassion, and things start changing. You start not tolerating some of the things you did before, and the darkness starts to go away, and you start changing your minds about your society and what will work and what won't work, and things that should be changed now instead of just saying they're going to be changed and over. That's what's going on if you didn't know it. That's what's happening right now on your planet. Some would say it's an intolerance. It is. Intolerance of the dark things that have been here before this second coming. The coming that you created by passing this marker that all the indigenous knew about. It's a worldwide event. Your heritage, and you're starting to wake up to it. That's why I started the healing circle. To let you see it, to put you in the middle of it, to expose your grandness. And those circles are coming every week, where you can sit there and absorb a new energy coming from a new dimensionality, coming from your earned heritage. Magnificent. You always have been. And it's time to start taking that knowledge and seeing that is the light of the world. It is you awakening to what was taught by the masters and is here to discover. The heritage of the human being is here. And so it is.
Hello, I'm Lee Carroll.